Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Ivy, and today I'm going to be talking about Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. This takes place 5 years after the Dark War, which is the events of the Mortal Instruments, and it's set in Los Angeles at the LA Institute. Emma Carstairs, we last saw her at the end of the Mortal Instruments, and she was like 12, so now she's 17. She is still trying to find whoever killed her parents. Emma lives at the LA Institute with the Blackthorn family, so Julian Blackthorn is her parabati. Julian has to take care of his 4 siblings. There's twins, Livy and Ty, and then there's Drew and Tavi. So Julian has a lot of responsibilities for a very young person, but I absolutely adored the family aspect of this book and just how much love there is between all of the characters. That's definitely my favorite part of this book, is just their relationships and how close they are, how they'll do anything for each other. We also have Christina, who is Emma and Julian's age, and she is staying at the Institute, but she kind of ran away from her home in Mexico, and we don't really know why at the beginning of this book. This book begins with kind of a new path opening up in Emma's quest for revenge. Something happens and it leads her down new paths, and everyone at the Institute helps her to discover what is going on. I love all of the characters so much. They're incredible. Cassandra Clare somehow, even though all of her books are set in the same, Shadowhunter world, somehow I still, all the characters are so different in my eyes, and, I don't know, I love them all. Overall, this book was really great. I think it wasn't stale or old, except for one element that, again, I can't tell you about because spoilers, but that's really the only thing that I didn't like about this book. I had a lot of fun getting to know the characters, and I'm so excited for book 2. That's about all I'm going to say without spoiling anything, so if you have not read Lady Midnight, goodbye. I will see you when I see you. Alright, so Kit Rook. In the prologue, we're introduced to this kid, and we think he's just a mundane with this site, but his dad, Johnny, works, at the shadow market and sells secrets and stuff. And I had a feeling, in the back of my mind, that we would be seeing more of Kit. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this book is how many little things, little details about other Shadowhunter series characters that we got. We got to learn a lot about Jason Clary and all them, and also Tessa and Jem and Magnus, and just how everyone's doing, and that made me so ridiculously happy, you have no idea. Emma Carstairs is talking to Rook, and she is told by him about the place that she goes, and then she finds the body with Christina, and this is kind of what starts the entire book off, is the body that has been found with the same marks that were on Emma's parents. So Emma and Christina have been kind of bonding over the past few weeks because Christina came and they've just, been chilling, hanging out, because the Blackthorns aren't there. But then the Blackthorns get back, and I was so excited because I hadn't read about them since the Mortal Instruments when they were so much younger, so I was so excited to meet them all again. Right away, Emma notices something is off with Julian, and this is immediately when I knew, oh, this is where we're going with this. They're gonna be in love, obviously. I love the scene with the pancakes when Julian makes pancakes for all the kids, and that was really the first scene where I was like, okay, I'm gonna love everyone in this book. We kind of start investigating. All the kids and Christina decide to help Emma despite the fact that they're not supposed to because of the cold piece. Let me tell you, the cold piece is so annoying. It's just, wow. The clave, every Shadowhunter series that I read, I realize more and more how just corrupt the clave is and how wrong it is, and on so many levels. And I think it's really great that we have that element where, we're not necessarily fighting against the clave in all of these series, but we're definitely, trying to get around it, because the clave is garbage. Malcolm Fade. I really, really liked him. He was so likable, and I know that was done on purpose, but he was clumsy. He was kind of just a hopeless romantic. Julian. I love him so much. He's definitely no Jem Carstairs, but he is still fantastic. I mean, this kid, from the time he was 12, first of all, he had to kill his own father, which that in itself is just so traumatizing, but then he has to take care of his 4 younger siblings after they've been through such a traumatic event. On top of all of that, he has to deal with the fact that he's in love with Emma and he can't do anything about it because it's illegal to be in love with your Parabati. Then he has to run the freaking institute all by himself because Uncle Arthur is insane. This entire book I was so worried for Julian because I knew he was going to snap at some point. And he didn't really, but I think it's coming. Like, in the next few books, he's gonna lose his marbles. He cannot take it anymore. When the fairies showed up with Mark, I was like, I didn't even know what to think, and they strike a deal that the people of the Institute will find out who's doing these killings because, you know, fairies have been killed, and in exchange for that, they're like, here's your brother back. Mark is so messed up, and I really loved watching him, you know, change and adapt back to, like, human life versus the hunt life. That was really fascinating. So then we find out about the convergence thing. So at a convergence of ley lines, that's where dark magic can be undetected. Emma and Mark go. They discover the wallet of the body that was found of Stanley Wells, I think his name was, and then they get attacked by manta demons, and then Christina and Julian have to come save them. Emma is such a badass. She's just awesome, and she's like the female Jace or whatever, and I don't know. She's just awesome. I love her so much. Finding the wallet leads Emma and Julian to go to his house, and there they find a dead body in a pool with one of her hands cut off, and they're like, what is going on? Julian gets shot by this weird crossbow guy on the roof, and then Julian is about to die. Emma saves him, and she's not supposed to save him, so I immediately guessed, like, oh, if you're in love with your Parabati, that, like, makes the powers that much more powerful. So then Christina sees Mark and Kieran making out, and I hate Kieran so much. He's awful. Like, first of all, if you really love someone, you would want them to be happy. You wouldn't be like, hey, come back to where you were literally being tortured. No, you'd be like, you're free, good for you, like, go be with your family. I'm sorry, but their relationship is so unhealthy. So we go to the lottery, and our peeps think naturally, like as anyone would, that if you get picked for the lottery, you get killed. So when this man Sterling gets picked, they try to help him and he refuses, and they're very confused, but they're like, you know what, no, we're shadow hunters and it's our duty to help you. So Emma goes back to the convergence alone, which, okay, first of all, that's a really bad idea, but you know, that's just Emma being Emma. She's so reckless, it's not gonna end well for her one day. Anyway, so she sees the 2 rooms, and this is where things get really weird. Like, the one room has a candelabra in it and also like clothes. The other one is literally a portal to the ocean, and of course, having a fear of the ocean, she gets swept out into it. One thing that did bother me was how the heck did Julian get there so fast? Like, I guess she had like the breathing runes or whatever, but he got there way too fast. So then after Julian saves her from, you know, dying, we realize that if Emma dies, then Julian dies, and vice versa. Then they end up having sex on the beach, and afterwards, Julian is like trying to convince her that he doesn't love her in that way. I'm like, bro, just stop. No, you're not convincing anybody. Later, when Emma and Christina are following Sterling, Diego shows up. Perfect Diego. I was waiting for him to come into play somehow. Find Sterling, and he kills Greenhair, which the green-haired witch girl who Kate was talking to in the prologue, and I was unreasonably sad about her dying because I thought her hair was great. When they get back to the Institute, the huge crowd of followers is there, and Malcolm scares them all away. Sterling just like drops dead, and I finally put 2 and 2 together that Malcolm must have killed him with his warlock power things. Belinda, what a great name. Belinda cuts off both of his hands and just runs away with them. You feel like the Shadowhunters would have tried to stop her or something. Julian finally fesses up to the fact that, like, Arthur's insane and he's been running the Institute this whole time. That just makes my heart break even more for Julian. just, ugh, poor guy. Then one of the kids figures out that the guardian dude is trying to bring back Annabelle Lee from the dead. There's this poem, and it's about a shadow hunter named Annabelle. She fell in love with someone that she shouldn't have fell in love with, and then her family sent her to become an Iron Sister, and then she died of sadness. Her lover went to the Fairy King and got the poem Lady Midnight. In the poem, it says that Blackthorn blood is next, so naturally the Blackthorns are like, oh boy. The fairies come back. First of all, Gwen, the, like, lead hunter guy, is not what I expected at all. Like, I expected some really scary, like, evil dude, but he seemed, like, not that bad. My heart, whew, that entire chapter with the whipping, and Mark was like, gonna be whipped, but then Julian was like, no, I'm gonna be whipped, and then he was whipped, like, twice, and Emma had to feel it, so then she stopped them, and then she ended up being whipped. Oh my god, just so many feels. Of course, this just made my hatred for Kieran go, like, 50,000 times worse. When we found out that Malcolm was the guardian, I did not see it coming at all, and I was kicking myself. I was like, bro, you gotta start paying attention and, like, actually thinking this through. Like, this entire time, I was just kind of, like, riding the waves. I wasn't really thinking about who the guardian might be. Also, he has Tabby. Tabby's adorable, and if something happened to him, I was going to be very upset. Also, that one fairy guy, I can't pronounce his name, it starts with an I, but he apparently was in league with Malcolm, which we never really got that resolved at the end of this book, so hopefully we'll get to see that in the next one. So our gang goes to the convergence site because they have to save Tabby. And then Diana is there, and oh my gosh, I don't even know what I feel about Diana at this point, because I've never really liked her this entire time because she's so secretive and she doesn't even seem like she cares about them at all. Do Emma and Julian have telepathy? I really want to know. So at the convergence, we have to fight the, like, dead army of followers, which is really disturbing, by the way, how they were all sitting there with their necks broken. Julian is able to get Tabby out of there, which, thank God. Then Emma ends up, like, alone in that room with Malcolm, and whew, it does stuff go down. First of all, the endurance rune that Julian put on Emma saves her freaking life. After Malcolm, you know, beats Emma up a little bit and taunts her and says the thing about Parabati, she just kills him, and I guess, like, looking back on it, I shouldn't have expected anything different because Emma spent her whole entire life preparing for this moment. Not her whole entire life, the whole entire 5 years preparing for this one moment. And even though Malcolm was technically her friend before, it's like, bro, you just killed my parents, you were gonna kill Tabby, and, like, you killed 5 billion other people. I am a little worried about Emma now because, like I said, her entire last 5 years have literally just been about getting revenge. Now that she has her revenge, what is she gonna do? We get back to the Institute, and Clary, Jace, Magnus, and Robert Lightwood are there, and I was so excited to see them all, except maybe Robert. Julian spins a very convincing story. The thing with Nightshade's pizza, and, like, the lie, or was it a lie about addictive powders? I don't even know, but either way, that is not gonna end well. Like, I think Julian's definitely gonna regret that decision. Mark finally just breaks up with Kieran, is like, get out of my sight. Then we go back to Kit Rook, and I was like, okay, like, I was right, there has to be something here. Lo and behold, he's Christopher freaking Herondale. I had to read that like 5 different times to finally convince myself that what I read was correct. There was, like, a lost line of Herondales or something, and I was so excited. I really like Kit a lot from the little bit that I've seen of him. Ty. I love Ty with all of my heart. I love them all, but Ty is great. Like, he's just so cute and adorable, and I want to give him a hug. But when he tells Mark, he's like, yo, so you're gonna take care of us now, right? That hurt my heart, especially because it upset Mark so much, because he knows that he can't. He knows he's not capable of doing that. Oh my god, so Christina's story. She overheard her soon-to-be Parabati Jamie telling her love, Diego, about how he was just using her for power. And oh my god, I would be a mess. I love Christina as well, so I want her to be happy. Perfect, Diego. I hope he grows on me. Emma is talking with Jem, and he tells her the thing about Parabati. Basically, if you are in love with your Parabati, that means y'all will have, like, superpowers, but, like, it just gets more and more powerful, and then eventually you'll go insane because of all the power, and then you'll kill everyone around you, and then yourselves. Emma has to push Julian away because she doesn't want him to, you know, die. She doesn't want to die herself. She doesn't want anyone around them to die. She has to convince him not to love her anymore. So what does she do? She's like, yo, Mark, please lie with me and say that you're in love with me. And then Mark is like, why lie? Oh my god, I almost threw my book across the room. This is so wrong. First of all, it's gonna kill Emma and Julian and Mark in the end. Like, this is just not gonna end well, period. Julian is never gonna stop loving her. Like, it's not gonna work. This is the one issue that I had with this book, because it really does feel like what we saw in the Infernal Devices with certain characters. It's the whole thing where there's a reason that they can't be together, so the one character is a butt face and trying to convince the other person that they're not in love with them. Like, no, like, it was fine once, but twice? Like, give us something new. The epilogue, Annabelle's awake. And, I mean, I could have seen that coming, but I was still like, oh no. So some questions that I have. First of all, how is Annabelle awake in the first place? Because, like, he technically didn't finish the ritual, so I'm confused about that. What the heck is going on with Diana? That's my biggest question, is what's her deal? Lastly, how is Kit going to deal with this? Overall, I really enjoyed myself. I had a very fun time putting together the pieces of this kind of mystery. Like, it definitely was giving me more mystery vibes than any of the other books. I love the characters. Emma is so awesome. She's so strong and badass. And Julian, he's strong in a different way, but I love him so much. And also Christina. Christina is great. I really want to know more about her. And all the kids, too. Drew. I love Drew. I didn't mention her, but I love how she got her moment in the battle, finally, because she felt so left out, but now she's proving herself. The twins are great. Tavi's 7, so I don't really have an opinion on him. This is a great cast of characters. I love the family. I'm excited to see what happens to them next. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars because of that one reused, like, plot device thing, which it's annoying. That is it for today's video. I was just about to end it, but then it cut out. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye.